Yes, so Hairless here. Today we are back with Geoff Castellucci, not only the king of basses, but also apparently the king of the road. Because, as you may have guessed, he will be covering Roger Miller's 1965 song, King of the Road. It's a very nice song, very catchy, very easy to listen to, as is often or always the case with Geoff. There's not really much I can say in a way of what I think will happen. There's no point in guessing, so I'm not going to. I should say I'm very curious to see how he will take on this song, what changes he will make, how he'll arrange it. His arrangements are always super interesting, so very keen to get into this one. Thank you to Juliana for this Patreon request.
King of the road, the trailer's for sale or rent. Room still at 50 cents. No farm, no pool, no pets. I ain't got no cigarettes. All but 2 hours of pushing broom lies. An 8 by 12 4-liter room. I'm a man of means by no means. King of the road. Trailers for sale or rent. No pool, no pets. I ain't got no trailers for sale or rent. A man of means by no means. King of the road. Third boxcar, midnight train.
Okay. We've heard some pretty funky stuff in there, actually, that I would not expect or associate with this song. It's such a nice song, and yeah, what Geoff's done with it so far is really, really cool. And the video, of course, is great. It is simple, but it suits the song. I think the original song is fairly simple overall, all things considered, and that's wherein so much of the charm lies, I think. All right, well, as always, let's now go over some of the more interesting things with this arrangement. And where better to start than with the start. Geoff comes straight in with this guitar chord that sustains as the bass line plays. The original doesn't have that. As you can hear there, it's the bass line first, and then
trailer for sale or rent.
Then the guitar comes in with the chord and the singing. By Geoff doing this sustained chord, it not only kind of sets the tone of the song, it also immediately provides us with this really subtle discordance, this subtle dissonance, because the chord is playing out as the bass line is moving underneath, so naturally there'll be all these dissonances in there. And I find this interesting because overall, the song, the original song, is not really a song that has dissonance in it. It's pretty simple and straightforward from a harmonic perspective. So doing this here in Geoff's arrangement immediately, I think, is a little unexpected. The bass line in Geoff's version is different. It's much shorter. The chords come in prematurely compared to the original.
King of the road.
And then Geoff comes in with this proclamation, King of the Road. He's announcing to the world that's his new title. And also we do have a key change, actually. So Geoff is performing, whereas the original is. So it's quite a way away from the original song, but it's Geoff. He likes to go lower, so that's why. He has kept in clicking as the main bit of percussion.
The trailer's for sale or rent.
I've said in many videos that I think clicking is super catchy. I don't know why. I just want to click along when I hear it. I think it's a nice sound, obviously depending on the song. Compared to other forms or types of percussion, there's no resonance to it. It's just a very direct but subtle sound. I just like the click, so yeah, I'm happy he's kept them in. And we actually get more clicking than usual because he's performing at a significantly quicker tempo than the original.
Trailer for sale or rent.
The trailer's for sale or rent.
When this started, when Geoff started singing, I actually thought maybe I'm playing the video at a quicker speed by accident. But no, this is it, a bit quicker. In a way, it kind of feels less laid back or chilled than the original just because of this. But I also kind of disagree with myself for saying that. It's got more of a swing or a lilt to it, really complimenting him just kind of cruising down the road in the video. There was one really funny bit. As we can see here, it's the most replayed. We've got that little white mountain.
I ain't got no trailer.
If we listen to that just by itself,
I ain't got no.
it's a bit nuts, kind of funny, to be honest. I don't know why. It's just tickled me. But it's kind of fitting to that moment of the song, and different parts of the song, obviously different things work best. And that's one thing that Geoff does so well, kind of sectionizing his arrangements. Why do I say this? Well, just prior to that, compared to the introduction, the style has changed. We now get
Trailers for sale.
these really tight backing harmonies. I've heard Geoff do that, I think, in every other one of the songs that I've heard. Because they're so tight and the texture is so thick, there's so much going on, even though it might not sound like it because the volume's been reduced. There's almost a technological sound to them. Hear me out on that. It really reminds me, well, especially when he does this, the king of the that comes in. King of the. It really reminds me of the style of this duo called Disclosure. They've made some remixes of music from the 40s to the 60s involving vocal harmony. I've got one in mind. Let me play a clip, only a few seconds because of copyright. That sort of style. And obviously Geoff does this manipulation of the rhythms as well, like cutting sentences short. King, repeating them. It's almost like a robot is rebooting. Just in those little bits, I get a weird feeling of like the modern world technology. Quite different to the lovely country rural setting that we're seeing. All right, let's carry on. Really cool so far.
Third boxcar, midnight train, a destination Bangor, Maine. Worn out suit and shoes, where I don't pay no union dues. I smoke wool stogies I have found, short but not too big around. I'm a man of means by no means, king of the road. Trailers for sale, no phone, no pool, no pets. I ain't got no cigarettes. All but trailers for sale. A man of means by no means, king of the road. Well, I know every engineer on every train. All of their
Oh, key change. Outfit change as well. Snakeskin boots, blazer. He wasn't wearing sunglasses before, was he? And look where I've paused. The biggest upgrade of all. Now, I was told beforehand that the tremendous Tommy would feature in this. Geoff's duffel bag has magically become Tommy, and I have a lot of time for that change. I'm looking forward to seeing more of him in this. We'll carry on in just a moment. I like how this change, not only the key change, moving up, and the outfit change, they both come after lyrically, I think my favorite line. I think it's a really clever line.
a man of means by no means.
A man of means by no means, king of the road. And at this point, the harmony kind of becomes static temporarily. I was listening to it thinking, oh, that's a bit peculiar, but then we get some really interesting drumming or percussion.
By no means, king of the road. Well, I know every engineer on it.
That sudden rhythmic intensity, that shift of feeling is basically a nod to the fact that something maybe is going to happen. It makes us feel like something will happen. And lo and behold, promptly thereafter, we get different changes. Key change, outfit change, kind of shift change. Earlier, from where we carried on, I did like the reduction back to a much kind of simpler arrangement style. I was pointing out the thicker texture, the harmonies, things sounding a little bit more technological, a bit more full.
Third boxcar, midnight train.
There's no backing vocal harmony here, just everything reduced to the more foundational
A
instruments.
destination Bangor, Maine.
The more necessary or more staple lines of the arrangement. Before then, with a very nice slide down, I like how Geoff signals to us, he gives a little nod that something's going to change. This time, it's his slide down.
Trailers for sale.
And now we have more textural thickening. We're hearing more things, kind of an effective complexity is coming back in. So yeah, there's a constant kind of feeling of shifting in the music. What we're hearing stylistically in terms of complexity, texturally. Earlier, I said we moved back to a more simple arrangement. And it's tricky for me to say that, to use the word simple here, because, well, you know, it's not a simple arrangement. But there are many simple elements in the original song.
By no means king of the road.
I think that's why it's such a well-loved song. It's so easy to remember. You hear it and then you can sing along with it. Why I say this is because I thought I did not know the song, right? I went to listen to Roger Miller's original in preparation for this Geoff reaction. And then as soon as the King of the Road line happened, it was just like a wave of nostalgia that came over me. I have heard the song before, but it was used in a road safety advert many, many years ago when I was really young. We're talking like 3 or 4 years old, maybe. I remember seeing it on TV and thinking, oh, this is catchy. Obviously, I didn't know it was a cover song at the time. I'll play the advert for you now. And, you know, if it's copyrighted, I can only play maybe a few seconds here or there. If it's not copyrighted, then we can watch the whole thing. It's about 30 seconds.
Take care out on the street. Use your head and then your feet. Don't run out like a fool. Take your time and play it cool. If you don't stay alert, you could end up getting hurt. You gotta stop and think, then you'll be king of the road. King of the road.
Yeah, nice little advert. All right, let's carry on. If you enjoy these videos, please consider supporting me. You can buy me a coffee or hot chocolate, join our Patreon for loads of additional content that's not available on YouTube, or become a YouTube member for these groovy emojis and membership badges. All options are linked below, and a special thanks to everyone on the screen. Back to the video.
Every engineer on every train, all of their children and all of their names. Well, every handout in every town, and every like that ain't like when no one's around. I sing trailers for sale or rent, rooms to let 50 cents. No phone, no pool, no pets. I ain't got no 2 hours of pushing broom lights, an 8 by 12 4-bit room. I'm a man of means, by no means king of the road. Come on, a trailer's for sale or rent, rooms to let 50 cents. No phone, no pool, no pets. I ain't got no cigarettes on, but 2 hours of pushing a broom buys an 8 by 12 4-bit room. I'm a man of means, by no means king of the road. Trailers for sale.
Oh, look at little Tommy being the best little passenger prince there is. Oh, it's a nice video, isn't it? It's a nice video. Geoff's been working out, and you know what they say, sun's out, guns out. But yeah, there are some really nice moments with real rich harmonies in there. Like I mentioned before, when they come in the backing vocals, I don't know, I just feel they sound so kind of tight. And because of that, there's an almost fake or technological feel to them. It's just what happens if you have the same person's voice layered multiple times, because your voice just blends so well with your own voice. I don't know how much additional editing would be done or not, but that's not really the point here. One such moment.
I ain't got no 2 hours of pushing broom.
Those ums or oohs that we hear in the background. So we're basically hearing this chord, but this note is the one that stands out in the first chord. And that same funky note in the next chord that we hear is a staple of there. And then there's another funky note in there. But these chords, they're so subtle, so quiet, even though they're very rich in harmony.
Ain't got no 2 hours of pushing broom.
Why is it so quiet? I don't know. Only Geoff knows. But I like it because it's like a way of providing us with some extra juiciness, some dissonance in there without being overbearing and overshadowing the overall simplicity I feel that is the song, essentially through and through. And it's such a nice bass line as well. One of the next phrases, Geoff, I was really surprised actually with the way he ended this phrase. It was in such a laxed way.
A trailer's for sale already.
You know, it's kind of like a non-note he ends off. He just sinks, really highlighting the happy-go-lucky nature of the song and what the lyrics are about. Again, hugely complimented by the video itself.
Room still at 50 cents.
You know, we have this jump down there, a major sixth. Too low to actually be on this little keyboard of mine. Going down to an E1. Very, very low. And after that, I'm thinking, okay, surely this reduced section we're hearing now, just some clicks and the bass and Geoff singing. Surely after this is where he'll do something outrageous, maybe like a super low, long sustained note or super high, long sustained note, something to indicate that we're going to move into a new section like he so often does. But no, he ends this section by just kind of rising up.
No phone, no pool, no pets. I ain't got no cigarettes on, but 2 hours of pushing a broom.
And then that super interesting piano riff comes in. It kind of is just rhythmically unstable, super high up, unlike anything we've heard, just unexpected. And again, it's not overbearing. It's not really taking the attention away from anything else. Yeah, I just think it's really interesting, very cool, unexpected. Let's carry on until the end.
King of the road. Trailers for sale already. I ain't got no cigarettes, all but trailers for sale already.
Little Tommy.
Well, I'm a man of means. King of the trailers for sale already. I ain't got no. A man of means by no means. A man of means by no means. A man of means by no means. King of the road.
Oh. Oh. That's a nice way to end, isn't it? And in the music too, those rich harmonies I was saying, yeah, I don't know, Geoff's just decided to make use of them right up until the last moment. And they're kind of dabbling in being outrageous harmony, some really unexpected discordant notes in there, but never for too long. Like one will come in and then come out again, and then it's mostly fairly standard. I think it's really cool. It's a cool way of arranging them. With this sustained chord there again as Geoff's slowly moving down, but again it's like a pause, a temporary pause in the harmony. Things have become static.
King of the road.
And then ending with an outrageous low note. And the final bass line. Absolute classic. Super cool. Well, there we go. King of the Road. This was a very nice one for me today, actually, because of the nostalgia. That advert that I have not thought about in decades. Funny how that works, isn't it? Someone wants to see a Geoff video, and then I hear the original, and then I'm reminded of some hedgehogs, some cartoon hedgehogs talking about road safety. But yeah, it's a nice song, and I mentioned several times in the video, I think the original song is kind of simple, and I think that's why it's so charming and why we remember this song. Like, I have no right remembering a song that I heard a few times when I was 3 or 4 years old, but I just think it's a really well-written song. Geoff definitely respects that part or that nature of the song. He does, of course, increase the complexity in certain ways, but nothing that makes you go, oh, that's crazy complex, like we might see in some voice play arrangements or something. And yeah, the video is super, super nice, simple, completely portrays the meaning of the lyrics. Very, very chilled, cool. Yeah, let me know your thoughts on this one down below, and let me know if you made it this far by liking the video. Would really, really appreciate a like. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.